957, 957. Chapter 957. It can only be said that you have seen too little. The challenge token exploded in the starry sky, and then an arena appeared out of thin air. Lin Moyu stood on the arena, feeling the aura of the law. The arena was transformed by the law, and the source of the law was undoubtedly the Human Emperor Network. The power of the Human Emperor Network far exceeded his imagination. It was not just a purely virtual world. It had the ability to influence reality. Tang Fei saw Lin Moyu in a daze and thought he was scared, sneering repeatedly.
Now you know fear? Too late. Get on the arena, and let your senior brother teach you how to behave.
Tang Fei flew onto the arena first, beckoning Lin Moyu to come up quickly. Lin Moyu got up and flew to the arena. Immediately, a protective shield rose from the arena, covering the entire arena. Before the outcome was decided, no one could enter. The crowd surrounded the arena, watching the real-life duel as if it were a show. A real-life duel initiated by a challenge token was rare to see. Passers-by couldn't miss it. Tang Fei sneered.
Don't worry, senior brother won't kill you, but I will give you an unforgettable lesson, so you understand how to behave in the future.
Lin Moyu smiled faintly.
It's fine for a person to teach another person, but a dog teaching a person is out of the question.
Tang Fei's anger surged.
You're courting death.
A thick-backed broadsword appeared in his hand. The broadsword roared with the law, bursting into flames. Lin Moyu immediately recognized that Tang Fei controlled the law of flames, one of the most commonly understood laws in the great world. After all, flames could be seen everywhere, so naturally many people understood it. Tang Fei was at the 9th stage of the super god level with a law mastery of 9%. Compared to Lin Moyu, he was indeed much stronger. However, Lin Moyu's undying law was far superior to the law of flames in terms of strength. Moreover, Lin Moyu had cultivated a law domain, indicating his absolute control over the law, far beyond what Tang Fei could compare to. The broadsword burned with raging flames, illuminating Tang Fei's face.
Let me show you the taste of being burned by flames.
He swung the broadsword fiercely at Lin Moyu, and the blade's energy, carrying the law, swept across the entire arena. The arena turned into a sea of fire, burning fiercely, leaving Lin Moyu with no place to hide. The crowd outside the arena sighed. Just this one strike had almost determined Tang Fei's victory.
A 9th stage super god against a 6th stage super god. There's no comparison at all. With this strike, even if he doesn't die, he will be seriously injured. Although Tang Fei's character is not great, his strength is indeed commendable. His law mastery is close to 10%, almost reaching the level of a true god. He should have broken through long ago. It's said that he has been holding back his breakthrough to cultivate a law domain.
In the crowd's words, Lin Moyu was undoubtedly destined to lose. Suddenly, a gray mist emerged from the flames. The flames extinguished upon contact with the gray mist. The gray mist carried a strong aura of death, decaying everything in the world, even the law of flames. Lin Moyu emerged from the flames, unscathed. Above his head, a strange gray and white star was slowly rotating. The strange star buzzed, emitting a dazzling light that swept across the entire arena. In an instant, all the flames in the arena were extinguished and disappeared without a trace. Even the flames on Tang Fei's broadsword were suppressed to a thin layer. Under Lin Moyu's law domain, Tang Fei's law of flames was completely suppressed, unable to move. Even though Tang Fei's law mastery exceeded Lin Moyu's, it was of no use. The law domain, known as the strongest means among super gods, had its unreasonable aspects. Beads of sweat appeared on Tang Fei's forehead, and fear filled his eyes.
A law domain? How is it possible? How could you cultivate a law domain?
Lin Moyu shook his head lightly.
There's nothing impossible. If you think it's impossible, it can only be said that you have seen too little.
As he spoke, he pointed a finger at Tang Fei, and a gray mist instantly enveloped Tang Fei. Tang Fei immediately let out a piercing scream, falling to the ground with no strength to resist. The gray mist contained a strong power of death, capable of corroding everything. Tang Fei's flesh, law, and even his soul could be corroded. The power of death enveloped Tang Fei, like countless small knives, cutting Tang Fei. Tang Fei's screams were endless, making people feel horrified. Hearing Tang Fei's screams, the crowd's faces changed, and their hearts pounded. They never expected Lin Moyu's strength to be so terrifying. A six-stage super god who had cultivated a law domain was a rare existence among super gods. They finally realized that Lin Moyu was not a so-called reckless youth. He was a true genius, a super genius who could fight across levels. What they had thought before was all wrong. Many people felt fortunate that they hadn't provoked Lin Moyu, or else Tang Fei's fate could have been theirs. Tang Fei's flesh was corroded, revealing his white bones. The undying law had already invaded Tang Fei's soul world, about to attack his soul. Tang Fei knew he was finished. This time, he had truly delivered himself to be slaughtered. The injuries to his flesh were nothing and could be easily healed. But once his soul was damaged, even if he survived, his future would be bleak. However, at this moment, Lin Moyu stopped.
Admit defeat.
Tang Fei trembled all over, his voice shaking.
You're not going to kill me?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
Killing you brings no benefit. Admit defeat, and for the next 100 years, 10% of your earned points will belong to me.
Losing meant paying the price. Lin Moyu didn't care about killing Tang Fei, nor did he care about the 10% point income. The key was that Tang Fei had said he didn't intend to kill Lin Moyu. It was this sentence that saved his life.
I admit defeat.
Tang Fei recognized the reality. Now he was enveloped in gray mist within Lin Moyu's law domain. He was already meat on the chopping block. Whether to be sliced or minced depended on Lin Moyu's mood, at his mercy. Tang Fei admitted defeat, and the Human Emperor Network immediately transmitted the information. Challenger Tang Fei voluntarily admits defeat. After the Human Emperor Network's judgment, there is no objection to the process of admitting defeat. All of Challenger Tang Fei's points will belong to the challenged Lin Moyu. For the next 100 years, 10% of all points earned by Challenger Tang Fei through tasks will belong to the challenged Lin Moyu. The challenge ends, and from now on, there will be no further enmity between Challenger Tang Fei and challenged Lin Moyu. No revenge in any form is allowed. If discovered, severe punishment will be given. The challenge ended, and the arena disappeared instantly. After winning, Lin Moyu obtained all of Tang Fei's points. Not too much, just 3,000 points.
So poor.
Lin Moyu knew this guy must have spent all his points, leaving only 3,000 points, very poor. Lin Moyu withdrew the power of death and simultaneously released a white mist. The white mist carried abundant vitality and fell on Tang Fei. Tang Fei felt like he was bathed in sweet rain, and his wounds healed at a speed visible to the naked eye, with flesh regenerating, and he recovered in no time. 958. Chapter 958. Submitting the task. Offline verification.
Law of death, law of life.
Tang Fei muttered, with a bitter smile on his face, knowing he had lost without injustice. Everyone witnessed this scene, and their gazes towards Lin Moyu changed completely. It was well known that mastering two opposing laws simultaneously was extremely difficult. The principle that water and fire do not mix was understood by all. But once successful, the power was immense. Both the law of death and the law of life were second-tier laws. If one could master both simultaneously, their power could rival first-tier laws. In the eyes of others, Lin Moyu was no longer just a genius. To master two opposing second-tier laws and complete a law domain, how could one simply be called a genius? Facing such an opponent, Tang Fei had no chance of winning. He could only blame himself for his poor judgment in challenging Lin Moyu. The challenge ended, and Lin Moyu headed towards the teleportation array. This time, no one dared to stop Lin Moyu. Even the true gods made way for him. In their eyes, Lin Moyu's future was limitless. Even if they could still surpass Lin Moyu now, they would inevitably be overtaken in the near future. For someone like Lin Moyu, as long as he stayed alive, who knew what heights he could reach? After Lin Moyu left, someone suddenly realized something.
The strange star can help people comprehend the law of death and the law of life. I had suspected it before, and it seems to be true. But the laws on the star are not apparent, so it should be difficult to comprehend. How could second-tier laws be easy to comprehend? But no matter how difficult, one must try. What if there's a chance?
Everyone flew towards the strange star. Tang Fei was left alone in the starry sky, ignored by everyone. He also smiled bitterly. This challenge not only cost him everything but also meant that for the next 100 years, 10% of his task earnings would go to Lin Moyu. 100 years of effort had come to nothing. He had truly lost everything. But fortunately, he had kept his life. As long as he was alive, there was still hope. Tang Fei no longer dared to hate Lin Moyu. Someone like Lin Moyu, whose future achievements were beyond his imagination, had made him act foolishly this time. Lin Moyu returned to Suzaku Star 98-1 and went straight to the task center. He had taken the task on Suzaku Star 50 and parted ways with Guam Qingxian afterward, each doing their own tasks. Upon returning, Lin Moyu chose the star he was most familiar with, 98-1. This task did not require any task items to be submitted. Lin Moyu directly chose to submit the task at the task station. The Human Emperor Network immediately sent a reminder. "Do you have any information to submit?" Lin Moyu answered through his consciousness.
Yes.
"Please find a nearby task room and enter the Human Emperor Network to submit the relevant information." Following the task prompt, Lin Moyu found a task room in the task center. Connecting to the Human Emperor Network, he appeared outside the Human Emperor training ground in the next second. This was the place where he had left the Human Emperor Network last time, and upon returning, it was still here. The Human Emperor Network and the real world were synchronized to some extent but also independent in certain aspects. Lin Moyu knew very little about the Great World and the Human Emperor Network, only scratching the surface. He believed that the Human Emperor Network had its reasons for doing things this way. Within 2 seconds of entering the Human Emperor Network, a beam of light descended from the sky, enveloping him. Lin Moyu felt himself entering an independent space. "Please describe the information you want to provide in detail. You can use any method." Lin Moyu felt that this task was somewhat special, different from any task he had done before. Lin Moyu said in a deep voice,
"I will demonstrate."
As he spoke, gray light appeared in his left hand, and white light appeared in his right hand. The power of death and the power of life of the undying law appeared simultaneously. In the Human Emperor Network, the two laws were recognized as the law of death and the law of life. Lin Moyu overlapped his left and right hands, merging them together. The two laws also fused, forming a gray and white law. "Please describe the information you want to submit in more detail." Obviously, the Human Emperor Network did not recognize the undying law. Like the cultivators, it thought Lin Moyu had mastered and fused two laws. Lin Moyu's personal information also stated that he possessed both the law of death and the law of life. Holding the gray and white energy ball, Lin Moyu explained,
"This is not a product of the fusion of the law of death and the law of life, but another law, which I call the undying law. It looks like the law of death and the law of life, but it is different."
As Lin Moyu finished speaking, a beam of light suddenly fell, shining on the law energy ball in his hand. After a full minute, the light disappeared. The Human Emperor Network sent another message. "Please do not leave star 98-1. We will send someone to verify it offline." After the message appeared, Lin Moyu's consciousness returned to his body, leaving the Human Emperor Network. Lin Moyu was slightly stunned. Would someone come to verify it? Was it necessary for a level 3 task? He pondered the various situations in the Human Emperor Network and gradually found a possibility.
The real world existed first, and then the Human Emperor Network. The law C in the Human Emperor training ground is the same. There are lost stars in the real world, and then there are lost stars in the Human Emperor training ground. In other words, everything in the human emperor network cannot exist out of thin air. It must have a basis in the real world. Therefore, my undying law does not exist in the human emperor network because there is no basis for it. That's why the human emperor network cannot verify the undying law and needs to verify it in the real world.
Through thinking, Lin Moyu roughly understood what was going on. Even if it wasn't entirely correct, it was close enough. Leaving the task room, Lin Moyu walked out of the task center and waited quietly. The human emperor network only required him not to leave star 98-1, indicating that they could find him.
I wonder what kind of reward this task will give.
Lin Moyu thought to himself. The basic reward of 1,000 points was certain. As for the additional rewards, he didn't know.
Hey, Brother Lin, you're back?
Looking towards the voice, he saw Renchang flying over. What a coincidence! Lin Moyu wondered if this guy was watching the task center, waiting for him to return. Otherwise, how could he have found him so quickly after he returned?
Just got back.
Lin Moyu said softly. Renchang said,
It's good that you're back. How did your task go?
Lin Moyu replied,
I'm submitting the task. You said you had something to discuss with me last time. What is it?
Renchang whispered,
I have a multi-person task here. Normally, it requires at least 5 or 6 people to complete. But with your strength, Brother Lin, the 2 of us should be enough.
959, 959. Chapter 959. Multi-person task. I take 3, you take 7. Lin Moyu looked at Renchang, who was at the 5th stage of the super god level. This guy clearly only had level 2 permissions. Lin himself already had level 3 permissions, so he couldn't do level 2 tasks. Renchang noticed Lin Moyu's confusion.
Brother Lin, you think we can't do tasks together because our permissions are different, right? Don't worry, this is a special task that I accidentally triggered during a mission. This task is a bit difficult and requires multiple people to complete. It can accommodate up to 10 people. But the more people there are, the fewer rewards each person gets. Normally, 5 to 7 people are the most cost-effective. But now that we have Brother Lin, the 2 of us are enough. We'll split the rewards 3 to 7. I take 3, you take 7. How about that?
Seeing Renchang patting his chest confidently, Lin Moyu smiled and said,
Sure, let me see what the task is. Great!
Renchang immediately sent the task details to Lin Moyu through the Human Emperor network. However, the transmission failed, and Renchang was slightly stunned.
Brother Lin, do you still have a task in progress?
If one task is not completed, one cannot see the information of other tasks. Lin Moyu nodded.
I'm in the process of submitting a task. It should be done soon.
Renchang was a bit puzzled.
Submitting a task, shouldn't you go to the task center? This task is a bit special. It can't be submitted at the task center. Special?
Renchang couldn't understand what kind of task couldn't be submitted at the task center. Could it be that a task that can't be submitted at the task center can be submitted outside the task center? Although he only had level 2 permissions, his family had a legacy, so he wasn't completely ignorant of level 3 and 4 permissions. At least he couldn't figure it out. Lin Moyu's soul suddenly moved, sensing a powerful presence descending. A smile appeared on his lips.
They've arrived. Who has arrived?
Renchang followed Lin Moyu's gaze and looked ahead. The space ahead slightly twisted, and several people appeared in sight.
Teleportation.
Renchang was startled. Teleportation was something only a god sovereign could do. Moreover, he recognized the person standing at the front, Domain Lord Zhu Tian. The 3 people behind Zhu Tian also exuded terrifying auras, each one a god sovereign. Renchang was so scared that he almost collapsed to the ground. His whole body trembled, and his voice quivered.
Brother Lin, are these the people you were waiting for?
Lin Moyu smiled.
You go inside and wait for me. I'll be back soon. Okay.
Renchang didn't want to stay a second longer and ran into the task center as if escaping. After entering the task center, Renchang was still panting heavily. Facing these big figures, the pressure was immense. He couldn't understand how Lin Moyu could remain so calm. Lin Moyu walked up to Zhu Tian.
Lin Moyu greets the Domain Lord and the seniors.
Zhu Tian smiled.
I didn't expect us to meet again so soon.
Lin Moyu also smiled.
I didn't expect the task verification this time would trouble you. It's not just me, but also these old fellows.
Zhu Tian introduced the three people who came with him. The three were the Star Lords of Suzaku 02, 03, and 05 star systems. Suzaku 02 Star Lord, Lu Changyu. Suzaku 03 Star Lord, Fang Lian. Suzaku 05 Star Lord, Zhu Hongyu. Zhu Hongyu was also the only female cultivator among the three. All three were at the 7th stage of the God Sovereign level and were also world lords. Lin Moyu greeted them again. The three also returned the greeting simultaneously. Lu Changyu seemed very pleased with Lin Moyu.
No need for formalities, young friend Lin. I didn't expect you to be a world lord as well.
Zhu Tian was slightly surprised.
Young friend Lin is a world lord?
Lu Changyu nodded.
The power of the world doesn't lie.
Lin Moyu humbly said.
I'm just a world lord of a small world, not comparable to the seniors.
Fang Lian shook his head.
A world lord is a world lord. We're all the same.
Upon learning that Lin Moyu was also a world lord, Zhu Tian's admiration for him increased even more. In Zhu Tian's eyes, Lin Moyu became even more perfect, almost unrealistically so. Zhu Hongyu said calmly.
Let's get down to business.
Zhu Tian nodded.
Let's go.
With a wave of his hand, a vast power enveloped Lin Moyu. The scene changed, and Lin Moyu found himself in the starry sky. In front of him was the majestic and solemn War God Hall. Zhu Tian explained.
To verify the law, we need the elders of the War God Hall to conduct the verification together. Coincidentally, Luo Qianquan is on duty here during this period, so we don't have to look for people everywhere.
Lin Moyu knew that Luo Qianquan should be Elder Luo's name. He didn't expect Elder Luo to be an elder of the War God Hall. The War God Hall had 1 Hall Master and 12 elders. Each elder status was no less than that of a domain lord like Zhu Tian, and their cultivation was equally profound. Last time, Elder Luo left a deep impression on him. Although Elder Luo's gaze was kind, it also made Lin Moyu feel unattainable. This might be the result of long-term status and position. The group walked into the War God Hall, first paying respects to the statue of War God Xiao Zhantian, and then continued forward. Xiao Zhantian was a hero who saved the human race from calamity, and his deeds had been sung by the human race for millions of years. For millions of years, the War God Hall had become a sacred place in the hearts of the human race. Lin Moyu had learned about Xiao Zhantian's deeds while reading the information. This war god was indeed remarkable. He rose during the most perilous time for the human race, growing stronger with each battle. He slaughtered countless enemies, his hands stained with the blood of many races, driving the invaders out of the human race's territory. He even counterattacked into the enemy's lair, personally exterminating several of them. He laid a solid foundation for the human race's eternal legacy. He was invincible in battle, never defeated in his life, truly deserving the title of war god. As they walked, Zhu Tian said,
In the history of the human race, there have been many figures like the war god, but they were all very low-key.
Lin Moyu agreed with Zhu Tian. The human race couldn't have relied on Xiao Zhantian alone. There must have been countless predecessors who fought bravely. Only in this way could the human race become a truly powerful race in the great world. Luo Qianquan was still sitting in front of the star array, motionless like a statue. When Lin Moyu looked at him, it was still like seeing a towering mountain, boundless. Hearing the commotion, Luo Qianquan opened his eyes.
Old Zhu, what brings you here?
Zhu Tian said irritably,
Of course, I have something to do. Do you think I want to see you for no reason? Spit it out. You old fellow, you really have no manners.
The two were obviously very familiar with each other. speaking very casually. Lu Changyu, Fang Lian, and Zhu Hongyu all greeted Luo Qianquan.
Greetings, Elder Luo. We hope Elder Luo is well.
Luo Qianquan smiled at the three and responded. Although his attitude was still somewhat indifferent, it was much better than when he spoke to Zhu Tian. However, Lin Moyu felt that Luo Qianquan and Zhu Tian had a genuinely good relationship. With Lu Changyu and the other two, he seemed a bit distant. 960. Chapter 960. First Tier, Law Transcendence. Lin Moyu saluted Luo Qianquan, who only responded indifferently. Lin Moyu then looked at Zhu Tian.
I don't have any tea here, so I won't entertain you. Just get to the point.
Zhu Tian didn't bother arguing with Luo Qianquan.
I didn't come here for tea. This time, I'm here to verify a new law. If it weren't for the rules requiring a War God Hall Elder to participate in the verification of a new law, do you think I'd want to come to you, old man?
Luo Qianquan didn't mind Zhu Tian's words and instead looked at Lin Moyu.
Are you saying this young fellow has discovered a new law?
Zhu Tian corrected him.
Not discovered, mastered.
Luo Qianquan showed some interest.
Show me.
Zhu Tian also signaled Lin Moyu to demonstrate, as he was curious too. After receiving the information from the Human Emperor Network, they rushed over. They didn't know what new law Lin Moyu had mastered. In the great world, there are countless laws, most of which have already been discovered. Discovering a new law now is not easy. Lin Moyu extended his hand, revealing a gray and white energy ball. Luo Qianquan glanced at it and said,
Law of death, law of life. You fused them?
Zhu Tian also looked over. At first, he thought it was the law of death and the law of life, but upon closer inspection, it seemed different.
It seems different. This is a complete law, not just a simple fusion of the law of death and the law of life.
Luo Qianquan carefully sensed it.
Indeed, it's a complete law, not a fusion of two laws.
Both of them quickly confirmed that the law in Lin Moyu's hand was indeed a complete law, not a fusion of two laws. Even if two laws are fused to a high degree, there will still be differences compared to a complete law. It's like a piece of paper that, once torn, will always show traces even if pieced back together perfectly. But the law in Lin Moyu's hand had no such traces. It was perfect. Lu Changyu and the other two also carefully examined the law in Lin Moyu's hand. All three were God sovereigns, and their discerning eyes were equally sharp. They could also see that the law in Lin Moyu's hand was very complete and not weak.
How is it?
Zhu Tian asked, directing his question to Luo Qianquan. Luo Qianquan nodded.
It is indeed a new law. I wonder how powerful it is.
Zhu Tian smiled.
It won't be weak.
Luo Qianquan looked at the star array beside him.
Let's test it. Indeed, we need to test it to know.
Zhu Tian pointed to the star array.
Direct the law at the star array with full force.
Lin Moyu did as instructed, mobilizing all his law power. Super God 6th stage, mastery at 6%, this wouldn't change. Based on this, as long as the specific power of the law is calculated, they can determine which tier the law belongs to. However, they all knew that the law in Lin Moyu's hand was at least 2nd tier. This could be roughly judged from the aura fluctuations of the law. A strange gray and white star appeared above Lin Moyu's head. Gray and white energy swirled around the star, covering a radius of 1,000 meters. The star array emitted a majestic sound, shining brightly, blocking Lin Moyu's law domain. Zhu Tian showed a pleased expression.
You've mastered a law domain?
Lin Moyu nodded.
By chance, I mastered it. Not bad, not bad.
The more perfect Lin Moyu became, the more Zhu Tian liked him. Such a person would be a pity not to recommend as a disciple to the city lord. Luo Qianquan's eyes flickered. Although he didn't speak, his subtle expressions betrayed his thoughts. Zhu Tian warned him with his eyes.
Don't you dare steal him from me.
Luo Qianquan responded with his eyes.
You think you can stop me? Try me. Try it is, do you think I'm afraid of you?
Their eyes clashed like sharp blades in the void, neither giving way. Lu Changyu and the other two found it amusing. They knew a bit about the history between Zhu Tian and Luo Chenkuan. These two had been bickering for years, and they were used to it. Lin Moyu expanded his law domain and threw the undying law into the star array. Since both Luo Chenkuan and Zhu Tian had asked him to do it, there would be no problem. With his current strength, if he could damage the star array, it would be a miracle. The star array glowed faintly, and the undying law spread out on the star array like it had hit an indestructible wall. Luo Chenkuan sensed the information transmitted back from the star array, and his eyes showed rare shock.
How is it?
Luo Chenkuan glared at Zhu Tian.
Why are you in such a hurry? True God's second stage.
Hiss! Zhu Tian gasped.
It transcended tears. Are you sure you didn't make a mistake?
Luo Chenkuan swore.
If I'm wrong, let Chu Lao San eat shit.
Zhu Tian glared at Luo Chenkuan, who swears and drags someone else into it. But now wasn't the time to argue about that. The important thing was that Lin Moyu's law attack had transcended tears. Lin Moyu didn't quite understand what it meant for a law to transcend tears. But he knew his law should be very strong. Zhu Tian said,
Hongyu, explain it to him. Yes, master.
Zhu Hongyu responded respectfully. Lin Moyu then realized that Zhu Hongyu was Zhu Tian's disciple. Zhu Hongyu looked like a beautiful woman in her 30s, exuding maturity and beauty. Her voice was slightly hoarse and magnetic, a rare beauty. Zhu Hongyu explained,
Generally speaking, third-tier laws can only exert power corresponding to their level. Second-tier laws can exert power beyond their level. Most can transcend 2 to 3 levels, but transcending tiers is very difficult. For example, the law of death, even if it can transcend tiers, at most, it can exert power close to the first stage of a true god at the peak of the super god level. Only first-tier laws can truly transcend tiers. You are only at the 6th stage of the super god level, yet you can exert the power of a second-stage true god. This is a genuine tier transcendence.
961, 961. Chapter 961, Multiple Law Stars in the Sea of Laws. Zhu Tian now looked at Lin Moyu as if he were a treasure. Moreover, he was a super treasure. He asked,
What is this law called?
Lin Moyu replied,
The Undying Law. The Undying Law? That's a strange name.
Luo Chenkuan muttered. Zhu Tian snorted.
What do you know? You know? Then tell me why it's called the Undying Law.
Luo Chenkuan retorted, not believing that Zhu Tian knew. Zhu Tian chuckled.
Lin, summon a skeleton for this guy to see.
Lin Moyu found the two old men amusing and summoned a skeleton warrior. Luo Chenkuan raised an eyebrow.
A skeleton?
He scrutinized the skeleton.
It's clearly a skeleton, but it contains vitality and a soul aura. I remember, in the great world, there once existed a race called the Undying Race.
The skeleton carried the aura of the Undying Law, which Luo Chenkuan recognized at a glance. His words surprised Lin Moyu slightly. Was there really an undying race in the great world? Was the undying race similar to himself? Zhu Tian waved his hand.
It's different. I specifically checked the information on the Undying Race, and it's completely different. Being able to give life to the dead and call it the Undying Law, I think it's quite fitting.
Luo Chenkuan looked at Lin Moyu.
Since you discovered this law, you can name it whatever you like. I have no objections.
Zhu Tian asked.
So, have you confirmed it? What's there to confirm?
Luo Chenkuan replied irritably. The facts were right in front of them. There was nothing to confirm.
Since it's confirmed, let's proceed with the soul imprint.
Zhu Tian took out a white jade ball the size of a head and left his soul imprint on it. He then handed the jade ball to Luo Chenkuan. Luo Chenkuan held the jade ball, and a beam of light shot from his forehead onto the jade ball, leaving his aura on it. Next, Zhu Tian handed the jade ball to Lu Changyu and the other two.
If you have no objections, leave your soul imprints as well.
The three naturally had no objections and left their soul imprints on the jade ball. Finally, the jade ball came to Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu could feel the soul imprints of the five people, with Zhu Tian and Luo Chenquin's imprints being the strongest, almost indistinguishable from each other. This indicated that their souls were nearly equal, and their strengths should be comparable. In contrast, the soul power of Lu Changyu and the other two was much weaker, not on the same level as Zhu Tian and Luo Chenquin.
You also leave your soul imprint on the law ball, and then inject your law into it until it's full.
After Zhu Tian finished speaking, he asked,
You know how to leave a soul imprint, right?
Lin Moyu replied,
I do.
This wasn't his first time doing it, so he naturally knew how. With a slight movement of his soul power surged out and entered the law jade ball. The expressions of the others changed again, even more shocked than when Lin Moyu demonstrated the undying law. Zhu Tian exclaimed,
A fourth-grade soul.
Lin Moyu nodded.
I just broke through a few days ago.
Antares had once advised him to keep a low profile and not to casually display his soul quality. But after entering the great world and understanding the situation of the human race, coupled with the presence of these god sovereigns, he knew they wouldn't harm him. So he openly displayed his soul quality. Zhu Tian murmured,
A fourth-grade soul, a fourth-grade soul.
The shock of a fourth-grade soul was immense. Even Luo Chenquin was speechless for a while. After a long pause, he finally uttered two words.
Perverted.
Lu Changyu and the other two were equally speechless. Zhu Hongyu bit her lip.
Monster.
Lin Moyu found it amusing. How did he suddenly become a pervert and a monster? But similar words had been said by Antares before. Zhu Tian looked at Lu Changyu and the other two.
You three, what was the quality of your souls when you were at the super god level?
The three smiled bitterly and didn't answer. Zhu Tian snorted.
Look at him, then look at yourselves. Aren't you ashamed?
The three continued to smile bitterly and remained silent. They were also geniuses. Otherwise, how could they have become world lords and reached the seventh stage of the god sovereign level? But compared to Lin Moyu, they were far behind. When they were at the super god level, their souls were only second grade. Lin Moyu left his soul imprint, which was only slightly weaker than Zhu Hongyu and the other two. From the soul imprints, it was clear that Lin Moyu's soul quality was on the same level as the three, all being fourth-grade souls. Meanwhile, Luo Chenquin and Zhu Tian's souls had likely reached fifth grade. Next, Lin Moyu began to inject his law into the law jade ball. As the law was injected, the jade ball began to glow. The more law was injected, the brighter the jade ball became. When the law was fully injected, the jade ball had completely transformed. It shone brilliantly in Lin Moyu's hand, so bright that it was hard to look at directly. It was gray and white, resembling a miniature version of the strange star. Life within death, death within life. The law jade ball transformed into a law star. Zhu Tian took the law jade ball from Lin Moyu.
All right, this is your law star. It will appear in the Sea of Laws in the Divine City. Your task is now complete, and the specific rewards will be notified to you later. Old Luo, we're leaving. Thanks for your cooperation this time.
Luo Chenquin snorted.
Get lost. Don't come back unless necessary, and don't think about it even if you do. I don't want to see you. That's not up to you.
Zhu Tian laughed heartily and left with the others. On the way, Zhu Tian asked,
Can one comprehend the undying law through the strange star?
Lin Moyu thought for a moment, not entirely sure.
It should be possible, but it's not easy.
Zhu Tian casually remarked.
First-tier laws are never easy to comprehend. There are multiple strange stars in the Divine City, but no one has ever comprehended the undying law from them. You are the first.
Lin Moyu quickly explained.
I didn't comprehend the undying law from the strange star. I had already mastered it in the small world. The strange star only provided some insights and enhanced my law.
Zhu Tian nodded.
I understand. Regardless, the strange star does contain the undying law. It's just that those people were too foolish to comprehend it. They all consider themselves super geniuses, But in reality, they're nothing. All right, I'll handle the rest. You go back and continue your tasks and training. Don't get complacent.
Zhu Tian spoke like an elder, earnestly advising Lin Moyu.
I won't slack off.
As they parted, Zhu Hongyu and the other two invited Lin Moyu to visit their star systems. They were very enthusiastic towards Lin Moyu, even hinting that they had some excellent granddaughters at home. 962, 962. Chapter 962. Generous Rewards, Training Tasks. Lin Moyu recalled what Zhu Tian had said. Lin Moyu now understood the mode of the human emperor training ground. Many law stars are the tombstones of the human race's sages, condensed from their life's essence at the end of their lives. Some law stars, like what Lin Moyu did, are formed using law jade balls. However, such law stars cannot last for thousands of years. Every few decades or 100 years, they need to be rain-fused with laws to maintain their existence. The stronger the power and the law, the longer the interval between reinfusions. The law stars are located in the Divine City, and the human emperor training ground projects the sea of laws from the Divine City into a virtual world. Through the law of time, it allows cultivators to have more and longer comprehension time. However, such projections are not complete. Zhu Tian also mentioned that some law stars cannot be projected and must be seen in the Divine City. Returning to star 98-1, this task was finally completed. It exceeded expectations and was very successful. What he did before was to verify the task he submitted. A brand new law and a first-tier law at that. Lin Moyu was also looking forward to what rewards he would receive. He estimated that the rewards would not be small. From a distance, he saw Renchang waiting at the entrance of the task center. That guy looked anxious, looking around, and when he saw Lin Moyu, his eyes lit up. Lin Moyu instinctively felt that this guy might have a sister or something at home. Renchang came over, still looking around cautiously, and said,
Have the domain lords left? They've left. Why are you so afraid of them?
Lin Moyu asked. Renchang replied matter-of-factly,
I'm timid. They are domain lords, not ordinary people. How could I not be afraid?
Then Renchang continued to ask,
What did the domain lords come to you for?
Lin Moyu half-jokingly said,
The domain lord said he has a granddaughter and wants to introduce her to me. Really? Is that true?
Renchang's eyes lit up, staring at Lin Moyu in disbelief.
Not true. They came to verify the task. Verify the task?
Renchang was even more confused. What kind of task requires a domain lord to personally verify it? According to the rules of the Human Emperor Network, Lin Moyu couldn't disclose detailed task information, so he could only say,
It's a level 3 task to explore a strange planet. You know the rules. There are some things I can't say.
Rein Qiang naturally understood.
I get it. But I think I've heard of this task before. It's not important. How did it go? Did you complete it? It's already verified. Almost done.
Just as he finished speaking, the Human Emperor Network sent a message, and the task rewards arrived. Completed the task of exploring the strange planet. Reward, 1,000 points. Discovered the route of the strange planet. Additional reward, 10,000 points. Discovered the undying law. Additional reward, 10,000 points. Identified as a first-tier law. Successfully created a law star. Additional reward, 1,000 days in the Human Emperor training ground. Note: level ignored, ***. First to achieve 100% task completion. Additional reward, 1 day in the Human Emperor training ground. Note: level ignored, ***. Seeing the rewards, Lin Moyu couldn't help but show a smile. The rewards were very generous, totaling 21,000 points, and all were task points that could be used to upgrade permissions. Most importantly, he gained 1,100 days in the Human Emperor training ground with no level restrictions. If used at the God King level, the value would be immense. Renchang saw Lin Moyu's expression and knew the rewards must be substantial. Looking envious,
The rewards are good, right?
Lin Moyu nodded.
Indeed, not bad.
Reincarnated.
I'm really envious. You geniuses always get extra rewards for tasks, unlike me, who can only follow the rules.
Lin Moyu thought.
Actually, following the rules is good too. Cultivation is not about who goes faster, but who can go further.
Renchang's eyes lit up.
You're right. My idol is the sea-treading god. Even if I'm not a genius, I will keep going like the sea-treading god and never stop.
Lin Moyu patted Renchang's shoulder.
Keep it up. I believe in you.
The sea-treading god had a significant reputation among the human race, with many stories about him in history. It is said that the sea-treading god started from humble beginnings, without exceptional talent or outstanding abilities. Compared to the geniuses of his time, he had no brilliance and no strong presence. When others of his era became god kings, he was not even a true god. When others became god sovereigns, he had just become a god king. His cultivation was inferior, and his combat power was average, rarely winning in battles of the same level. But he kept moving forward step by step, unwavering. Suddenly, those geniuses who advanced quickly found themselves stuck at a certain level of the god sovereign, while the sea-treading god gradually caught up. The distance between the sea-treading god and them grew closer until he was on par and eventually surpassed them. The sea-treading god reached the pinnacle of the god sovereign. At that time, a race called the Giant Sea Race had a conflict with the human race. The sea-treading god single-handedly wiped out the Giant Sea Race. Only then did people realize that the former geniuses had been left far behind by him. The sea-treading god had no exceptional talent but ultimately surpassed the geniuses of his time through relentless effort. Renchang idolized him, which was indeed a good goal. Lin Moyu's task was completed, and Renchang shared his special task with Lin Moyu. Special task: cleanse the Black Xian race. The Black Xian race is a great enemy of the human race, one of the alien races that invaded the human race billions of years ago. Enter the secret realm where the Black Xian race resides and cleanse it. Restriction: do not spare any member of the Black Xian race. Leave no one alive. Completion condition: at least cleanse one Black Xian race stronghold. The task will be graded based on the cleansing situation, and rewards will be given accordingly. Note: the Black Xian race is a special stone-like race with extremely strong defense and attack capabilities, proficient in physical attacks and physical laws, and highly resistant to elemental laws. It is recommended that this task be completed by at least 5 people together. After reading the task, Lin Moyu asked,
Is this a training task?
The task didn't really require them to go to the Black Xian race. With their current strength, going to the Black Xian race would be a death sentence. The task was conducted within the Human Emperor network, making it a training task without real danger. 963, 963. Chapter 963, Killing Aliens in the Virtual World. The task is called a special task because it indeed has many special characteristics. Lin Moyu and Renchang arrived at the entrance of the secret realm after paying 15 points. This place was already at the edge of the human territory, bordering other races. Many people were gathered here, and not far away was an entrance. The special task Renchang received was not unique. Many people had obtained this task through various means. These people called their friends and came here to enter the secret realm to complete the task. In addition, some people stayed outside the secret realm, waiting for other teams to lack members so they could join. The special task is special because it can be executed multiple times. However, the points obtained in the secret realm do not count towards task points. They can be used as money but cannot be used to upgrade permissions. The Human Emperor network does not allow any loopholes to exist.
Hey, brother, need a hand? I'm at the 7th stage of the Super God level, with combat power comparable to the 8th stage. I'm definitely a top-notch fighter. I've entered the secret realm 5 times and am very familiar with all the hidden spots. I guarantee maximum benefits.
As soon as Lin Moyu and Renchang arrived, they were surrounded by people. Since they were only 2 people and the Black Xian secret realm required at least 5 people to pass smoothly, everyone knew they were short of people and came up to sell themselves. Renchang quickly refused, But the more he refused, the more people surrounded them. After finally squeezing through the crowd, they reached the entrance of the secret realm. Renchong couldn't wait to activate the task, looking both eager and somewhat embarrassed, which made Lin Moyu find it amusing. It was all because those fighters were too enthusiastic. This situation reminded Lin Moyu of the dungeons in the small world. Some dungeon entrances seemed to have similar situations. Very familiar, somewhat nostalgic. Both of them glowed simultaneously and then disappeared at the entrance of the secret realm. The atmosphere in the secret realm was somewhat oppressive. The sky here was half black, always covered by a faint black cloud. Through the black cloud, one could see the light of the stars, but most of the starlight was blocked by the black cloud, making the whole world very dark. Smack! A small stone suddenly hit Renchong's face, causing him to let out a strange cry. His clothes glowed, protecting him. Obviously, it was a good defensive item. Lin Moyu didn't have such clothes, but his bone armor glowed, blocking the gravel blown by the wind. He casually caught a piece of gravel from the wind. The black stone was extremely hard. He used considerable force to crush it.
It is said that the world where the Black Xian race lives is like this. Sand and stones fly all year round, and the wind never stops. The Black Xian race is not only good at physical attacks but also proficient in wind and stone elemental laws.
Renchong explained, looking somewhat nervous since entering the secret realm. Lin Moyu observed the surroundings. This was the world of the Black Xian race, but of course it was just a virtual world constructed by the Human Emperor Network. The Human Emperor Network was so realistic that it was hard to distinguish between real and fake. Lin Moyu understood why the Human Emperor Network constructed such a world. It was to give cultivators a chance to train. The first real confrontation with aliens, if conducted in the real world, would inevitably result in casualties. But in the Human Emperor Network, there would be no such problem. By accumulating experience in fighting aliens, cultivators would not be flustered when encountering aliens in the real world in the future. After a while, the wind subsided, and the surroundings became relatively quiet. Renchong had no idea where to go.
Which way should we go?
The scenery in all directions was similar, with no apparent difference. Lin Moyu thought for a moment.
Actually, it doesn't matter which way we go. This is a virtual world created by the Human Emperor Network, so it should be the same as the real situation. The Black Xian race also lives on a star, so no matter which way we go, we will eventually end up in the same place.
Renchong's eyes lit up.
Makes sense. So, which way should we go?
Lin Moyu pointed in a direction.
Let's go there and take a look.
The direction Lin Moyu pointed to had several high mountains, some of which were like sharp blades piercing the sky. In addition, there were many forests. Renchong had no idea, so he followed Lin Moyu's lead. The black mountains were connected, rising and falling, stretching endlessly. There were no trees on the mountains, only large black rocks. Most of these black rocks were stationary, but some rolled around the mountains. Lin Moyu and Renchong watched from a distance, and Renchong said,
That's the Black Xian race. Black stone as skin, black iron as bones, hence the name Black Xian race. In essence, they are a special type of stone life form.
The great world is full of wonders. Lin Moyu had even seen stars turn into life forms, so stone life forms were not surprising. At this moment, a mountain suddenly roared, and the black stones on it awakened simultaneously. Pairs of eye-like things appeared on the black stones, all staring at Lin Moyu and Renchong.
We've been discovered,
Renchong exclaimed. Lin Moyu said casually,
If you can see them, they can naturally see you. It's not surprising.
The mountain roared, and dozens of Black Xian race members charged at them like lightning. The Black Xian race members were huge, like several mountains crushing towards them. Renchong summoned a large knife, ready to fight. Lin Moyu pointed his finger, and white light flashed before his eyes, with a chilling wind and a dragon's roar. The undead legion appeared in front of them, actively engaging the Black Xian race members. The bone dragon spewed scorching dragon breath, carrying undead flames that corroded everything. The Death Knights charged, colliding with the Black Shen race members. The massive impact sent the charging Black Shen race members flying. Renchong heard several hoarse cries, like screams. The Black Shen race members were engulfed in silver flames, with the undead law corroding their bodies. The black stone surface cracked, revealing the metallic bones inside. The undead legion did not stop. The bone dragon quickly caught up, its sharp white bone claws crushing the Black Shen race members. At this moment, the undead legion charged into the mountains like an unstoppable army, rolling in like a torrent. Lin Moyu's eyes flashed with killing intent. He never showed mercy to aliens, whether in the small world or the great world. 964, 964. Chapter 964. I will go to the front line. Under the impact of the undead army, the Black Shen race was utterly defeated, collapsing at the first touch. Renchong, who was already prepared for a great battle, was stunned. He knew Lin Moyu was strong, but he didn't expect him to be this strong. The strength he knew of Lin Moyu was from when he was at the third stage of the super god level in the Human Emperor arena. Now, Lin Moyu had reached the sixth stage of the super god level with his strength doubling, enough to rival a true god. How could the Black Shen race at the mere fourth or fifth stage of the super god level be a match for Lin Moyu? They were crushed by the undead army on the spot. Renchong, while amazed, was also disturbed by the overwhelming killing intent emanating from Lin Moyu. He couldn't imagine how Lin Moyu could possess such intense killing intent. Growing up in the Great World, Renchong was accustomed to the peace and stability of the Great World, where all paths were paved by predecessors, and he couldn't understand the harshness of the small world. In the Great World, only after reaching a certain height would one face challenges. Unlike the small world, where one had to face challenges from the beginning. Lin Moyu had been fighting since his job change, all the way to the present. Countless monsters and aliens had died at his hands. Those were real battles, unlike the virtual world of the Human Emperor network, where one could truly die if not careful. Such experiences were beyond Renchong's imagination. Renchong, shocked by Lin Moyu's killing intent, muttered,
"Brother Lin, have you killed many people?"
Lin Moyu nodded.
"Quite a few."
Renchong speculated,
"Is the small world where Brother Lin comes from that dangerous?" "Yes, very dangerous."
Lin Moyu didn't elaborate, and Renchong didn't continue to ask. Each small world is different. Some are harsh, while others are peaceful. Clearly, the small world Lin Moyu came from was very harsh. Watching the rampaging undead army, Renchong felt that Lin Moyu's small world was indeed very dangerous. Otherwise, it would be hard to cultivate someone as fierce as Lin Moyu.
Reincarnated.
It seems Brother Lin is a qualified warrior. When Brother Lin reaches the true god level and gains level 4 permissions, perhaps you can consider going to the front line to participate in battles and earn military merits.
The human race's territory is vast, bordering multiple races. Conflicts on the border are constant, and the flames of war have never ceased. Many human warriors fight on the front lines. It is because of these people that the human race enjoys internal stability. Many cultivators go to the front line once they meet the requirements. They either fight freely in groups or directly join the army. No matter the method, it is all for the human race. Lin Moyu had long planned,
"I will go."
Since coming to the Great World, the peaceful life had made Lin Moyu somewhat uncomfortable. He was used to the fierce battles of the small world. Once he meets the conditions, he will go to the front line, growing stronger in the flames of war. Besides killing aliens, he can also earn military merits. In the Great World, military merits are still very important. This is the same as in the small world, with no difference. Gu Qingxian had mentioned that once she reaches level 4 permissions, she would also go to the front line to accumulate military merits. To enter the Divine City, military merits are also a crucial part, indispensable. Renchong looked envious.
"I really envy you. I don't know when I will be able to go to the front line and kill aliens."
Lin Moyu shook his head.
"The front line is very dangerous. When I was in the small world, Many people died in battles every year.
Renchang laughed.
But if we cultivators don't go to the front line, who will? I'll borrow a saying from the Buddhist race. If I don't go to hell, who will?
Lin Moyu was slightly taken aback.
The Buddhist race?
Renchang nodded.
Brother Lin probably hasn't heard of the Buddhist race. It's a very special race, powerful but friendly with all races, living in harmony. I learned about the Buddhist race from some family records. If Brother Lin is interested, you can look up information about the Buddhist race once your permissions are higher.
Lin Moyu thought of Buddhism in his previous life in the Huaxia world, where there was a similar saying. The exact same words, not a single word different. Could this be a coincidence? Lin Moyu felt it was not a coincidence. There must be something he didn't understand. Boom! A high mountain ahead exploded, rocks flying, and black clouds rolling in the sky. A giant round stone flew out from the mountain, transforming in midair, growing limbs. This was also a member of the Black Shen race, with cultivation reaching the 7th stage of the super god level, much stronger than the Black Shen race on the mountain. Renchang said solemnly,
This Black Xian race member should be the leader of this tribe.
In the short time he and Renchang were talking, the Black Shen race members in the mountain had almost been cleared out. According to the structure of the Black Shen race, the nearby mountain's Black Shen race members belong to the same tribe. And each tribe has a leader. The leader hadn't been seen before because it was hiding in the mountain. A 7th stage super god level, quite powerful. If the task executors were cultivators like Renchang, it would take several people working together to take it down. But facing Lin Moyu, several bone dragons in the sky swooped down, dragon breath spraying on the tribe leader. Skeleton warriors flew up, their giant axes glowing brightly, unleashing powerful attacks. The tribe leader, who had just emerged, was shattered on the spot, turning into a pile of rubble falling to the ground. A 7th stage super god level, really not enough. The Black Shen race members continued to scream, their cries echoing far and wide, shaking the nearby mountains and forests. Hundreds of powerful auras rose. Renchang's face changed dramatically.
Not good, we killed too fast, they are calling for help.
Lin Moyu asked curiously.
Killed too fast?
Renchang quickly explained.
The Black Xian race is very intelligent. If we kill slowly, they won't call for help. We can clear them out bit by bit. If we kill too fast, they will sense danger and send out a distress signal. Nearby Black Xian race members will come to help.
Lin Moyu chuckled.
Isn't that just perfect? Saves me the trouble of finding them one by one.
Renchang was stunned. Normally, they should retreat, wait for the Black Shen race to calm down, and then counterattack. But Lin Moyu clearly didn't want to do that. More and more powerful auras awakened, charging towards them. Black clouds rolled in the sky, and the Black Shen race members transformed into giant stones, flying like meteors. Lin Moyu snorted, and more undead legions appeared around him. There were only a few hundred Black Shen race members, while Lin Moyu's undead legion had already exceeded tens of thousands. And each skeleton warrior could easily overpower a Black Shen race member. In terms of both numbers and individual strength, it was a complete and utter crush. The undead legion instantly engulfed all the Black Shen race members. 965. Chapter 965. Cleansing the Secret Realm, Virtual and Real. Renchang felt that the best decision he ever made was to find Lin Moyu for this special task. Even with a 30-70 split, the benefits he received far exceeded those he would have gotten by doing the task with others. Moreover, based on his understanding of Lin Moyu would never cheat him. However, what surprised him was Lin Moyu's heavy killing intent. But considering Lin Moyu's harsh upbringing in a small world, it seemed understandable. Under the ravages of the undead army, all the Black Shen race members in the nearby mountains and forests were killed. Not a single one left. The land looked as if it had been plowed, with Lin Moyu not sparing a single one. Among the Black Shen race, there were also newly born members. They were not strong, but they were also killed. If you don't eradicate the roots, the spring breeze will bring them back to life. Either don't kill or kill them all cleanly. In the clashes between races, mercy towards the enemy is cruelty towards oneself. There were once benevolent cultivators who spared some newly born aliens. As a result, when they grew up, they turned around and killed many humans. Since then, anyone who showed mercy on the battlefield was considered a traitor to the human race and would be nailed to the pillar of shame in history. The human race could tolerate cowards and the weak, but never those who showed mercy to aliens. There was a popular saying among the human race:
The benevolent will destroy the entire human race.
anyone who acted benevolently and showed excessive compassion would be despised by everyone. Renchong deeply agreed with Lin Moyu's approach. Lin Moyu, who had fought his way out of a small world, had long since developed a firm resolve to kill aliens. After plowing through the nearby mountains and forests, Lin Moyu released more undead armies. A total of 500,000 undead armies spread out in all directions. It was imaginable that wherever the undead army passed, not a blade of grass would grow. Renchong, having nothing to do, put away his weapon and sat on the ground.
Brother Lin, you're making me look useless.
Lin Moyu laughed.
Do you want me to bring some Black Xian race members over for you to fight? No.
Renchong waved his hand.
Being bored is a good thing. This is just too enjoyable. The rewards this time will definitely be substantial. It's just a pity that the rewards from this special task don't count towards permission upgrade points.
Lin Moyu asked.
Are there many such special tasks?
Renchong nodded.
Not many, but not few either. Almost every cultivator has to go through a few. The higher-ups want us to have an early understanding of aliens during our cultivation.
Lin Moyu fully understood the arrangements of the human race's higher-ups. Most of these tasks were conducted in the Human Emperor Network, which was both safe and beneficial for gaining combat experience with no downsides. At the same time, the Human Emperor Network could gather a lot of information. From each battle with aliens, it could analyze each cultivator's strengths and weaknesses, the extent of their combat power improvement, their actual combat performance, and so on. Some people, despite having high cultivation levels, might not necessarily have strong combat power. The Human Emperor Network would record this information and eventually form a comprehensive evaluation. For those with strong growth potential, the Human Emperor Network would pay special attention. During his chat with Renchong, the undead army had already completely cleansed the surface of the entire secret realm. In total, there were 2,000 Black Xian race members, all of whom were cleaned out. Even those hiding in the most remote corners were found and killed. Not a single one escaped. When Lin Moyu told Renchong this number, Renchong exaggeratedly exclaimed,
This is the easiest task I've ever done in my life. Just sitting still and completing the task, it's too enjoyable. Unfortunately, such opportunities are rare. Brother Lin, you are destined to soar high. I will try to catch up, but I probably won't be able to. Remember your brother when you get good things in the future.
Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
You will also become stronger. Thanks for your kind words.
Renchong took out a jade token which represented the task. He activated the task token and shouted,
Submit task.
The task token floated into the air, emitting a dazzling light. Then it exploded like fireworks in the sky. After verification, the special task, Cleansing the Black Xian Secret Realm, has been completed. Task completion rate, 100%. Completion speed rating, excellent. Total reward, 20,000 points. Please distribute. This information was displayed clearly in front of Lin Moyu and Renchong. The final distribution rights of the task were still in Renchong's hands, as he was the owner of the task token. Without him, they wouldn't have been able to enter the secret realm.
Brother Lin, do you want to take more?
Renchong looked at Lin Moyu, feeling a bit embarrassed since he hadn't done anything during the task. Lin Moyu shook his head.
Let's stick to the original agreement.
Lin Moyu was firm. What was agreed upon beforehand would be followed. Renchong nodded.
Then I'll shamelessly take my share.
According to the prior agreement, Renchong took 30%, which was 6,000 points. Lin Moyu received 14,000 points. 14,000 points was a considerable amount for a super god-level cultivator, enough to buy many things. However, Lin Moyu wasn't interested in super god-level items. Now his points had reached 91,753, a significant amount of wealth. Among them, task points were 55,850, still some way from the 100,000 points needed for level 4 permissions. After completing the task, an exit appeared beside them.
Reincarnated.
It's a pity we didn't find any black Xian crystals this time.
Lin Moyu asked curiously.
What are black Xian crystals?
Renchang explained.
Black Xian crystals are the treasures of the Black Xian race, the source of their power. Without Black Xian crystals, the Black Xian race isn't very strong. The laws they control are generally third-tier laws. But once they integrate with Black Xian crystals, they undergo a transformation. Through Black Xian crystals, they can control the law of slaughter, which is a second-tier law. The Black Xian race's strength increases significantly, making them one of the powerful races in the Great World. Some people have obtained Black Xian crystals in this task before, but the chances are very low. Unfortunately, we didn't get any this time.
Lin Moyu had plowed through the entire secret realm and hadn't found any Black Xian crystals, so there definitely weren't any. Renchang wasn't disappointed, as he felt it was expected. Lin Moyu asked curiously,
But isn't this the virtual world of the Human Emperor Network? What use is getting a Black Xian crystal here?
Reincarnated.
You don't understand. The Human Emperor Network, although virtual, is connected to reality. If you get a Black Xian crystal here, it's just a virtual one. But the Human Emperor Network will give you a real Black Xian crystal in the real world. During the war between the human race and the Black Xian race, many Black Xian race powerhouses were killed, and many Black Xian crystals were obtained.
Lin Moyu was slightly stunned.
It can be like this?
Reincarnated.
The Human Emperor Network is very magical. Don't be surprised, it's normal.
966, 966. Chapter 966. Black Xian Crystal. I also have a law domain. Lin Moyu realized that he had underestimated the Human Emperor Network. The Human Emperor Network is not just a simple virtual world, nor is it merely a reflection of the real world into the virtual world. It is also not just about using the law of time in the sea of laws to give the human race more training time. Although these aspects are already remarkable, they are far from the limits of the Human Emperor Network. The virtual connection to reality has been perfected by the Human Emperor Network. Lin Moyu thought that there would definitely be more profound discoveries in the future. Now, he had only seen the tip of the iceberg of the Human Emperor Network. Rewards obtained in the virtual world can also be received in the real world. Renchang said,
Let's go. The probability of finding it is too low. I was just thinking about it. Historically, very few people have obtained it.
If someone has obtained it, it means it must exist in the secret realm. Lin Moyu didn't think the Human Emperor Network would play probability games. The purpose of the Human Emperor Network is to cultivate talent for the human race. This cultivation is comprehensive, including combat power, observation skills, cultivation, and even character. Finding the Black Xian crystal should require observation skills. Lin Moyu thought for a moment and didn't leave.
I want to keep looking.
Renchang's eyes lit up.
Brother Lin, are you interested in the Black Xian crystal?
Lin Moyu shook his head.
That's just one reason. I just want to see where the Black Xian crystal might be hidden.
Renchang didn't dampen Lin Moyu's enthusiasm and sat back down.
All right, you go ahead and look. I'll wait here.
He was the task leader, so as long as he didn't leave, the secret realm wouldn't close. However, quite some time passed, and Lin Moyu didn't move. Instead, Lin Moyu closed his eyes, as if meditating. Renchang asked curiously,
Aren't you going to look for the Black Xian crystal?
Lin Moyu smiled slightly.
I'm already looking.
Renchang was puzzled, but Lin Moyu didn't explain further, and Renchang didn't press him. The undead army was his eyes. Tens of thousands of undead were searching the secret realm. much more effective than him searching alone. The land had already been plowed once, and there was nothing. During the search, it was plowed several more times, but still nothing was found. There were many mountains and forests in the secret realm, which had also been thoroughly searched by the undead army. Every stone was turned over. Not even a small pebble was left unchecked. After searching for half a day, they still found nothing. Since there was nothing on the ground, it must be either in the sky or underground. The undead army split into two groups, one flying into the sky. The sky was filled with howling winds, carrying a lot of gravel and sand, constantly swirling in the air. If the black Shen crystal was blown into the sky, it wasn't impossible. The other group of the undead army searched for places like caves. Since there were mountains, there could be caves, and the black Shen crystal might be inside. After another half-day of patient searching, Lin Moyu finally made a discovery. About 100 kilometers away, on a small mountain just over 200 meters high, they found a crack halfway up the mountain. After breaking open the crack, it revealed a cave. None of the other mountains had caves, only this one did, which was significant. When the cave was broken open, a strange aura flew out, quickly spreading throughout the secret realm. The aura carried the power of laws, giving off a terrifying killing intent. Even the timid would feel a chill all over.
Reincarnated exclaimed.
Brother Lin, you found it.
Lin Moyu smiled.
I think I found it. Let's go take a look. All right. I also want to see what the black Shen crystal looks like.
The two flew over together and quickly reached the cave entrance. The cave wound downward, leading to the heart of the mountain, where there was a large space. They saw the black Shen crystal, a fist-sized prismatic crystal, floating in the air, shining brightly. The crystal was a strange black-gray color, surrounded by black gas that danced like snakes. Each wisp of black gas emitted the aura of laws.
The law of slaughter. It really is the law of slaughter.
Reincarnated exclaimed.
Lin Moyu also felt the pure killing intent of the law of slaughter. In his eyes, the black Shen crystal was somewhat similar to the domain god stone in his soul world. His domain god stone stored the killing intent he had accumulated over the years, almost turning it into liquid, making the entire domain god stone pitch black. The domain god stone filled with killing intent was at least 5 or 6 parts similar to the black Shen crystal in front of him. Renchang's eyes shone.
It's said that through the black Shen crystal, one might comprehend the law of slaughter. That's a second-tier law. If you can comprehend it, you'll be set.
Lin Moyu asked.
Has anyone ever comprehended it?
Renchang thought for a moment, then looked disappointed.
It seems not. Those who obtained the black Shen crystal eventually sold it. The second-tier laws are too difficult to comprehend, but the black Shen crystal can fetch a good price, at least 100,000 points. But since Brother Lin found it, I won't take a single point.
Renchang, though somewhat timid, knew his limits and boundaries. He knew what he should and shouldn't take. Even if Lin Moyu didn't want the black Shen crystal, he wouldn't take it. Lin Moyu looked at the black Shen crystal. Then his gaze shifted downward.
To get the black Shen crystal, we have to deal with him first.
Only then did Renchang notice that there was a black Shen race member below the black Shen crystal. It had just awakened, and a pair of eyes suddenly appeared on its pitch-black body. A powerful aura filled the cave, and Renchang was startled.
Super God 9th stage.
Lin Moyu shook his head.
Not an ordinary Super God 9th stage, but a peak Super God. No way, Brother Lin, don't scare me. Are you saying he can use a law domain?
Renchang exclaimed, his face showing fear. A peak super god refers to those who have cultivated a law domain at the 9th stage of the super god level. Although both are at the 9th stage of the super god level, those with a law domain are much stronger than ordinary 9th stage super gods. Lin Moyu nodded.
From the moment we entered the cave, we were already in his law domain.
Renchang's face turned into a bitter gourd.
This is trouble.
Although one wouldn't truly die in the Human Emperor network, the experience of dying there is almost indistinguishable from reality. Lin Moyu said,
It will indeed be a bit troublesome.
The Black Shen race member fully awakened, grabbed the Black Shen crystal, and let out a roar. The entire cave shook violently, and the two felt a heavy pressure, as if an invisible mountain was pressing down on them, making it difficult to move. Renchang said,
The law of gravity.
"The Black Shen race is proficient in physical laws, and the law of gravity is one of them." The entire cave rumbled, the mountain shaking and crumbling.
What should we do?
Renchang had no idea and could only look to Lin Moyu for help. Lin Moyu remained calm.
No problem.
With a flick of his finger, a strange black and white star slowly rose. The gravity pressing down on them instantly disappeared.
I also have a law domain.
967, 967. Chapter 967. The Fall of the God Sovereign, Tears of the Meteor. Lin Moyu activated his law domain. The undying law belongs to the first-tier laws, far stronger than the third-tier gravity law. Even though Lin Moyu was only at the 6th stage of the super god level, 3 stages lower than the Black Shen race member in front of him, he could completely defeat the opponent in terms of laws. As soon as the two laws came into contact, the gravity law domain instantly collapsed. When Lin Moyu's law domain fully expanded, the Black Shen race member was completely suppressed. Renchang was stunned. His worldview refreshed once again by Lin Moyu's strength. A 6th-stage super god with a law domain unheard of. Lin Moyu pointed his finger, and dozens of gray gases appeared out of thin air, instantly wrapping around the Black Shen race member. The extremely hard stone quickly rotted and lost its vitality. It was as if billions of years had passed in an instant, and with a gust of wind, it crumbled into sand. The Black Shen race member was corroded by the power of death within the undying law and died very cleanly. Lin Moyu raised an eyebrow slightly, feeling that his law had changed. His power had increased significantly compared to before. It wasn't because of the law domain, but the power of the law itself had truly increased. He quickly checked his information. The laws he originally controlled, the law of death and the law of life, had transformed into the undying law. He knew that the Human Emperor Network had corrected his law. Based on the law star he provided and his previous demonstration, the Human Emperor Network obtained the correct data for his law. The virtual world reflected reality, causing the power of his law to increase and synchronize with the real world. Renchang, who was watching from the side, was dumbfounded and couldn't believe it.
It's over? What else?
Lin Moyu extended his hand, and the Black Shen crystal flew into his grasp. At this moment, a message appeared in the secret realm. Black Shen crystal obtained. Please distribute. The right to distribute still belonged to Renchang. Without hesitation, Renchang directly chose to give the Black Shen crystal to Lin Moyu. He could have chosen to keep the Black Shen crystal for himself, but he wouldn't do something so short-sighted. Lin Moyu's strength had already deeply impressed him. Having such a friend was far better than having such an enemy. Even a peak super god could be easily dealt with by Lin Moyu. Renchang believed that Lin Moyu now had the strength to rival a true god. This meant that Lin Moyu could fight across levels, a super genius that was impossible to offend. Renchang wasn't foolish and wouldn't do something so short-sighted. After Renchang made his choice, Lin Moyu received a message that someone would deliver the Black Shen crystal to him, and he just needed to wait. At this point, the task was truly complete. In fact, the Black Shen crystal was the ultimate reward for this task, but very few people could obtain it in the end. Not only was it hard to find, but even if found, dealing with a peak super god Black Shen race member wasn't easy. As they left the secret realm, the noise around them suddenly increased, becoming lively again. Outside the secret realm, there were still many people. A group of fighters was looking for work, hoping to earn points. Everyone had their own way of moving forward. Although the methods were different and the paths varied, the goal was the same.
Let's go.
Just as they were about to leave, the entire Human Emperor Network suddenly shook. Lightning flashed and thunder roared in the sky, and billions of meteors flew from afar, streaking across the sky. The meteors dragged long, brilliant tails, flying into the deep space. Then came the second wave, the third wave. Wave after wave of meteors kept coming. The heavens and earth roared, and an inexplicable sadness suddenly filled the human emperor network. Some people's noses tingled, and tears flowed uncontrollably. The emotions in the human emperor network also affected reality, causing countless people to shed tears in the real world as well. Lin Moyu felt the intense sadness but quickly suppressed the emotion.
What happened?
Lin Moyu was puzzled. The meteors were extremely unusual, and the sudden sadness was also abnormal. Renchong, with tears in his eyes, couldn't help but exclaim,
Tears of the meteor.
Lin Moyu asked,
What are tears of the meteor?
Reincarnated replied.
When a god sovereign falls, the stars weep.
Lin Moyu was slightly shocked.
Are you saying a god sovereign has fallen?
Renchong, infected by the sadness, choked up,
Every time a god sovereign falls, the human emperor network shows tears of the meteor. Our human race has lost another god sovereign. Is it because of the frontline battles? But it seems relatively peaceful at the moment.
Lin Moyu was puzzled. The human world had been relatively peaceful for nearly 1,000 years. Although there were still battles on the front line, they weren't intense enough to require god sovereigns to go to the battlefield. They were just skirmishes. Why would a god sovereign suddenly fall? Lin Moyu even suspected that the god sovereign might have ventured into some dangerous area of the great world and ultimately perished. The great world has some very dangerous places, where even god sovereigns can fall if they are careless. God sovereigns are powerful, but they are not immortal. Renchong said,
The human emperor network will soon announce the information, and then we'll know which god sovereign has fallen.
Renchong's sadness gradually improved, and after a few minutes, the tears of the meteor phenomenon dissipated. The human emperor network returned to calm. But everyone knew that this calm was only temporary. Everyone was waiting for the information, wanting to know which god sovereign had fallen and why. Soon, a message appeared before everyone's eyes. Announcement. God Sovereign Knight Rain was besieged by the demon race at the southern border of the Suzaku Star region and fought to the death, unfortunately falling. Before his death, God Sovereign Knight Rain self-destructed, perishing together with the demon race's God Sovereign. Upon seeing this message, Lin Moyu and Renchong exchanged glances. It turned out to be the demon race, and the incident occurred at the southern border of the Suzaku Star region, only 400 light-years away from their location in Star System 98. 400 light-years is a very short distance in the context of the Great World.
Reincarnated tremblede.
Could it be that war is about to break out again?
Lin Moyu said calmly,
If war is coming, then let it come.
The human race has never feared war. Its history is a history of war. Whether in the small world where Lin Moyu was born or the current Great World, the human race has always fought its way through. Renchong was worried.
The demon race is also a top-tier race, not inferior to our human race. If a war breaks out, countless star systems will be destroyed.
Lin Moyu thought for a moment.
I don't think a large-scale war will happen. It's more likely to be a localized conflict.
Reincarnated pondered.
Our last war with the demon race was over 2,000 years ago, and we won. The demon race suffered significant losses. It's only been 2,000 years. They probably haven't fully recovered. There might be some other reason this time.
Lin Moyu was still puzzled. Why would the demon race suddenly target God Sovereign Knight Rain? And why was God Sovereign Knight Rain at the border? God Sovereign Knight Rain and God Sovereign Knight Wind had similar names. Could there be a connection between them? Suddenly, the entire starry sky of the human emperor network turned blood red. 968. 968. Chapter 968. The war begins. Human race god king class battleship. The starry sky of the human emperor network turned blood red, and one could even see blood flowing in the sky. Lin Moyu. In the context of the human race, the color red signifies ominousness. Upon seeing the blood-red sky, Renchong trembled and said,
War has truly come.
Wars between races are brutal, meaning massive deaths and countless sacrifices. But war is also inevitable, a common occurrence in the great world. The demon race has invaded our borders. In the Suzaku Star region, all super god-level cultivators are temporarily forbidden to leave their star systems and must await orders. All true god-level and god-king-level cultivators prepare for battle. All tasks in the Suzaku Star region are suspended, and the Human Emperor network is temporarily closed. Messages were transmitted, instantly reaching everyone. Whether in the Human Emperor network or in reality, as long as they were super god level or above, they received the information. At this moment, the Human Emperor network became the most efficient communication tool, able to deliver various commands precisely to everyone in an instant. Just a minute later, everyone was forcibly logged out of the Human Emperor network. Even those in the middle of tasks were logged out. Their task statuses were recorded and would resume after the war ended. Back in the real world, Renchang still looked tense.
I didn't expect the war to come so soon.
Lin Moyu could see the worry in his words, as if he feared the arrival of war.
Are you afraid?
Renchang shook his head.
Not afraid. No human is afraid. It's just that it came too early. I'm not strong enough yet. I'm only at the super god level. Under normal circumstances, I can't leave my star system to enter the real battlefield.
Lin Moyu said.
Tell me, what were the previous wars like? I couldn't find much information in the records.
He had searched the records before, but there was very little detailed information about wars. He knew his permissions were not high enough to see more detailed records. Regarding wars in the great world, Lin Moyu knew nothing and didn't know if they were different from wars in the small world. Renchang said,
I don't know what wars in your small world are like, but wars in the great world are extremely brutal. When the true powerhouses fight, they can destroy star systems. For life stars like ours, a god sovereign can destroy it with a single finger. Even entire star systems can't withstand their battles. But that's not the most troublesome part.
Renchang shared everything he knew without reservation. His family had a history of thousands of years and had produced many true gods who had served in the military and fought in real battles. From his description, Lin Moyu finally gained some understanding of wars in the great world. Wars in the great world can be divided into three types. The first type is border wars, which occur at the borders and are relatively small in scale, often considered minor skirmishes. Most of the time, god kings rarely take action. The second type is invasion wars, where one race invades another. Depending on the scale of the invasion, it can be divided into local wars and full-scale wars. The third type is the most brutal, the war of extermination. Once such a war breaks out, it ends with the extinction of a race. It goes beyond a fight to the death. It's a fight to the absolute end, leaving not even a single insect. The most likely outcome is the complete destruction of entire star systems, plowed over multiple times with the most powerful laws. Throughout the history of the great world, countless races have been exterminated, and the human race almost faced such a fate. After Renchang finished speaking, he still looked worried.
I don't know the scale of this invasion by the demon race, whether it's a full-scale war or a local war. And the demon race is skilled in stealth and hiding. They might bypass the front line and come to the rear for slaughter. But fortunately, the Human Emperor network is monitoring, so overly powerful demons can't get in. Only super god-level demons might come.
Lin Moyu understood why the Human Emperor network required all super god-level cultivators to stay within their star systems and not go out. It was mainly to prevent surprise attacks by the demon race.
I didn't expect to fight demons in the small world and still face demons in the great world.
Lin Moyu found it somewhat amusing. The arrangement of fate was so peculiar. It seemed he was destined to confront the demon race. He had killed demons in the great world before. If they dared to come this time, he would kill them again, and kill them thoroughly.
Lin Moyu patched reincarnated.
No need to worry. Worrying is useless. One thing I can say for sure, if only super god-level demons come, Star System 98 will be fine.
Lin Moyu's words were confident. He dared to say that below the true god level, he was invincible. And this invincibility was genuine, not something that could be overcome by numbers. No matter how many came, he would kill them all. Lin Moyu's words also gave Renchong confidence, and his face looked much better. Renchong knew very well how strong Lin Moyu was. As long as no true god-level demons came, there was indeed no need to worry. The two left the task room and came outside the task center. The originally empty square was now filled with people. The Human Emperor network in the Suzaku Star region was temporarily closed, and the task system was suspended. Without the Human Emperor network, the trading center also had to close. Cultivators left the task center and trading center, gathering in the square, waiting for the next orders. With the war about to begin, no one knew how widespread it would be or how many star systems would be involved. Star System 98 was only a few light years from the border. It seemed far, but for powerhouses like God Sovereigns, a few light years was very close. Even for God Kings using God King level flying devices, a few light years was not far. The possibility of the war reaching them was not out of the question. Everyone's faces were serious and tense. A black cloud flew in the sky, bringing a powerful aura. A battleship flew over and stopped in the starry sky. The battleship did not enter Star System 98-1, but it was so large that even from the starry sky, it was clearly visible.
Human race God King class battleship.
Ren Kiang murmurede.
The heart he had just calmed down was once again filled with anxiety. Discussions erupted around them, and from the conversations, Lin Moyu learned that the battleship in the starry sky was a human race God King class battleship, extremely powerful, capable of rivaling a God King. The deployment of a God King class battleship indicated that the scale of this war would not be small.
All true gods and God Kings heed the order and board the battleship as instructed.
A loud voice echoed through the stars, reaching everyone's ears. A battleship descended, truly entering the star system and hovering in midair. Its majesty was overwhelming, and Lin Moyu felt a suffocating pressure. The battleship was over 1,000 kilometers long, like a prehistoric beast hovering in the air. The true gods and God Kings present flew into the battleship one after another. Star System 98 was a low-level star system, with a few true gods and even fewer God Kings. With all the true gods and God Kings aboard, the battleship quickly ascended and then disappeared like a bubble before everyone's eyes. Lin Moyu sensed the aura of space laws. The battleship had used space laws to leave directly. This made Lin Moyu look at the human race battleship with new respect. 969, 969. Chapter 969. It was my own overthinking. The warship, carrying true gods and God Kings, headed to the battlefield. Lin Moyu and the other super god-level cultivators were still waiting for further orders. First, a God Sovereign had fallen, and then a God King-class warship was deployed. The scale of this war would not be small. With the war approaching, even super god-level cultivators, who were less significant than cannon fodder, would have their own battlefield. Soon, new orders were issued. All super god-level cultivators, proceed to the outskirts of your star system to guard against demon race sneak attacks. The Human Emperor network is now active. Everyone must follow orders and act accordingly. Any disobedience will be punished. This order was not only for Lin Moyu's Star System 98, but also for all nearby star systems. Super god-level cultivators took to the skies, quickly leaving their stars to guard the outskirts of their star systems. Renchong said in a low voice,
I mentioned earlier that a branch of the demon race has very strong stealth abilities. Even with the Human Emperor network monitoring, we can't guarantee absolute safety. There have been instances where the demon race secretly infiltrated life star systems and carried out massacres.
Lin Moyu thought of the previous Black Rainbow race, which had also infiltrated silently. He even suspected that other races might have been behind the Black Rainbow race's actions. Given the Black Rainbow race's strength, it would be unwise for them to provoke the human race on their own. There might be other conspiracies behind it. If the Black Rainbow race's actions were linked to the current demon race invasion, Lin Moyu had a new thought.
Could it be an experiment?
He pondered that the Black Rainbow race's infiltration might have been an experiment by the demon race. Perhaps they were testing whether they could bypass the Human Emperor Network's monitoring and successfully infiltrate. After confirming its feasibility, they launched this war. The more he thought about it, the more plausible it seemed. Renchang noticed Lin Moyu's troubled expression and quickly asked,
"What's wrong?"
Lin Moyu shook his head.
"Nothing, I just thought of something. Let me think a bit more." "Oh."
Renchang immediately closed his mouth and stopped speaking. Tens of thousands of super god-level cultivators flew silently through the starry sky, quickly heading to the outskirts of their star systems. After careful consideration, Lin Moyu felt that his thoughts were highly likely. He immediately communicated with the Human Emperor Network and sent a message to Zhu Tian. He shared his thoughts and speculations. Although the Human Emperor Network was temporarily closed and inaccessible, sending messages was still possible. Lin Moyu had Zhu Tian's contact information, but he wasn't sure if Zhu Tian would see his message. It was imaginable that with the war about to begin, Zhu Tian, as a domain lord, must be extremely busy. He might have already gone to the battlefield himself, as he was the strongest person in the Suzaku Star region. Shortly after Lin Moyu sent his message, he received a reply. Zhu Tian's response was very simple, just 3 words.
"Got it."
From these 3 words, Lin Moyu sensed Zhu Tian's seriousness. Clearly, he hadn't ignored the message. Lin Moyu breathed a sigh of relief. As long as Zhu Tian received the message, that was enough. The rest was beyond his control. Lin Moyu asked,
"Can you tell me more about the demon race?"
Renchang thought for a moment.
"Actually, I don't know much about the demon race either. My ancestors once served in the military and fought demons, and the information comes from them. The demon race has countless branches, with various types of demons, but they can be broadly divided into 2 factions. One is the Hell faction, and the other is the Abyss faction. It's said that Hell demons are straightforward and prefer direct confrontation. Abyss demons are more sinister and prefer sneaky tactics. But regardless, both factions of demons are cruel and bloodthirsty. Many races in the great world have been destroyed by the demon race. There have been many wars between our human race and the demon race. We've had victories and defeats, but most of the time, we've won."
Lin Moyu listened to Renchang's explanation, which was similar to what Lillian had said. Hell demons and Abyss demons are like 2 sides of the same coin, with different personalities. Normally, these 2 factions interfere with each other, but when they act, they often do so together. The demons skilled in stealth and infiltration belong to the Abyss faction. Tens of thousands of super god-level cultivators arrived at the outskirts of their star systems. Although there were many people, the star systems were vast, and they were scattered, making them inconspicuous. The Human Emperor Network issued orders one by one, and the cultivators spread out, each guarding their own area, separated by thousands of kilometers. Once everyone was in position, the star system suddenly lit up. The entire star system glowed, emitting the aura of laws. The War God Hall flew out from the star system, standing like a fortress above it. Lin Moyu recognized that the light came from the War God Hall. Renchang's voice came.
"It's the War God Hall star array, protecting the entire star system."
Lin Moyu realized why every star system had a War God Hall. It wasn't just for admiring the War God's legacy or for potential evaluations. The War God Hall had its own significance. In times of war, the star array in the War God Hall could protect the entire star system. At the same time, the War God Hall itself was a powerful war fortress. Although Lin Moyu didn't know its combat strength, he believed it wouldn't be weak.
I was indeed overthinking. How could the human race not guard against demon race sneak attacks?
Lin Moyu laughed at himself, realizing he had been overthinking. The human race and the demon race had fought countless times. How could they not know the demon race's tactics? Knowing this, they would naturally have countermeasures. With the War God Hall guarding, the life star system was as solid as a rock. The super god-level cultivators seemed almost unnecessary. Days passed, and the starry sky remained quiet. People speculated that the frontline war might have already begun. But with the Human Emperor network closed, it was difficult to get updates. As long as the Human Emperor network remained closed, it meant the war hadn't ended. After 4 days of waiting, space suddenly distorted tens of thousands of kilometers away in the starry sky. A small warship emerged from the distortion, then instantly flew tens of thousands of kilometers, stopping in front of Lin Moyu. The warship's arrival was abrupt. The warship was small, only about 100 meters long, vastly different from a God King-class warship. 2 exquisite boxes flew out from the warship, landing in front of Lin Moyu.
Delivery complete.
Lin Moyu heard a mechanical voice, and then the warship disappeared in a flash. 970. Chapter 970. Law of Slaughter Dual Law Domains. Lin Moyu stared blankly at the 2 boxes in front of him.
Goods?
Curious, he opened one of the boxes. A wave of law energy surged out from the box, and Lin Moyu felt a strong killing intent. Inside the box was a fist-sized black crystal. The black crystal was surrounded by swirling killing intent, clearly exuding the aura of the Law of Slaughter.
Black Shen Crystal.
Lin Moyu was somewhat surprised. He didn't expect the Human Emperor network to deliver the Black Shen crystal to him in this manner. One box contained the Black Shen crystal, so what was in the other box? Lin Moyu opened the other box. A strong smell of blood instantly filled the starry sky, and inside was a corpse. When Lin Moyu took the corpse out of the box, it instantly expanded, becoming a more than 3-meter-long alien corpse. This alien corpse had been dead for some time, but the smell of blood was still strong. Even in death, the pressure it exuded was intense.
A true god, at least a 6th-stage true god.
Lin Moyu didn't expect that the true god corpse promised by Fang Xingzong would arrive at this time. Moreover, the delivery method was so peculiar. Lin Moyu realized he knew too little about the great world and still had many functions to understand. However, the timing couldn't have been better. The Black Shen crystal aside, just this corpse was enough to become Lin Moyu's trump card. With this, he could even contend with a 7th-stage or even 8th-stage true god. Lin Moyu smiled as he put the corpse away. When he held the Black Shen crystal, a wave of the Law of Slaughter surged into his body. Immediately, the Domain God Stone in his soul world began to tremble violently. The Domain God Stone was filled with Lin Moyu's killing intent, which had already liquefied, as thick as ink. At this moment, the killing intent in the Domain God Stone began to boil, merging with the Law of Slaughter from the Black Shen crystal. The Domain God Stone shone brightly, and the killing intent Lin Moyu had accumulated over the years boiled like boiling water. A strong killing intent rose from Lin Moyu's body. Fortunately, there was no one around. Otherwise, they would have been shocked by his killing intent. Without countless lives taken, it would be impossible to gather such killing intent. The phrase,
killing without blinking an eye,
was not an exaggeration. In an instant, Lin Moyu was enveloped in thick killing intent, which included both his own accumulated killing intent and the Law of Slaughter from the Black Shen crystal. The Black Shen crystal could help people comprehend the Law of Slaughter, which was true, but no one had ever succeeded. The Law of Slaughter belongs to the 2nd-tier laws and is not easy to comprehend. So those who obtained the Black Shen crystal eventually sold it for points. Lin Moyu had never thought about comprehending the Law of Slaughter. He already had the Undying Law, a 1st-tier law far more powerful than the Law of Slaughter. Moreover, he still had the laws of time and space in his soul to comprehend. Both the laws of time and space are 1st-tier laws, also far surpassing the Law of Slaughter. What Lin Moyu lacked most now was time. He had no leisure to comprehend a 2nd-tier law. But now, the Law of Slaughter was merging with the killing intent in the Domain God Stone, bringing various insights without needing time to comprehend. Lin Moyu's mastery of the Law of Slaughter rapidly increased, as if he had taken a golden pill. In just half a day, a Law Star River appeared in Lin Moyu's soul world. The dark Law Star River was filled with killing intent, and the sky was full of murderous intent. From it, a tributary extended, connecting to his soul. His mastery of the law of slaughter quickly reached 1%. The law surged, and the insights didn't stop there. The black Xian crystal melted in Lin Moyu's hand, turning into countless streams of black gas filled with killing intent, pouring into the domain god stone. The already ink-like killing intent in the domain god stone boiled even more fiercely, causing the domain god stone to transform. The killing intent around Lin Moyu grew stronger, affecting the surrounding starry sky. The black gas danced like dragons, spreading through the starry sky, and the killing intent grew stronger. Lin Moyu looked like a god of slaughter, making it impossible to look directly at him. His transformation finally attracted the attention of others.
What's happening to him? His killing intent is so strong. How many lives has this guy taken? Even a veteran from the battlefield couldn't have such strong killing intent.
Thousands of kilometers away in the War God Hall, Luo Chenkuin opened his eyes.
Such powerful killing intent.
His gaze pierced through the War God Hall and saw Lin Moyu. At this moment, he noticed the intense killing intent around Lin Moyu, which even shocked him. He knew Lin Moyu came from a small world and could roughly guess the source of his killing intent.
It seems the small world this kid came from is not peaceful. However, choosing to comprehend the law at this time doesn't seem appropriate. Moreover, not practicing the first-tier undying law and instead practicing the law of slaughter seems unwise.
He thought Lin Moyu was actively practicing the law of slaughter, not knowing that Lin Moyu had never actively practiced it. At this moment, Lin Moyu was undergoing a miraculous transformation. The killing intent accumulated in the domain god stone and the law of slaughter from the black Xian crystal merged, allowing him to quickly master the law of slaughter. Moreover, his mastery of the law rapidly increased, reaching 6% in just 3 days, the current limit equal to his mastery of the undying law. At the moment the law of slaughter reached its limit, a loud noise echoed in his soul world, and the domain god stone shattered, releasing the stored killing intent. The amount of killing intent Lin Moyu had accumulated over the years was unimaginable to outsiders. As the domain god stone shattered, the killing intent turned into dragons, sweeping out like a storm. The surrounding 1,000 meters turned into a world of killing intent. The law of slaughter danced in this space, forming a law domain. Behind Lin Moyu, a strange gray and white star automatically rose, and the undying law domain also unfolded at this moment. The undying law and the law of slaughter simultaneously formed domains, intertwining with each other, expanding the domain range from 1,000 meters to 10,000 meters. The power also increased dramatically.
Dual law domains.
Luo Chenkuin couldn't help but exclaim. He had been watching Lin Moyu's transformation all along, knowing that it wasn't the best time to comprehend the law during a war. But he didn't expect Lin Moyu to comprehend the law of slaughter to such an extent, forming a domain. Moreover, it merged with the undying law domain, forming dual law domains. The range expanded and the power increased. Luo Chenkuin's eyes sparkled.
Such a person should belong to the War God Hall.
Lin Moyu, with his eyes closed, was fully aware of the changes happening to him. His ability to master the law of slaughter was not accidental. It was the result of years of accumulation. The domain god stone had been absorbing his killing intent, laying the foundation for him. The law of slaughter is difficult to comprehend without sufficient killing intent. Even if comprehended, forming a law domain is challenging. But with enough killing intent, comprehension becomes easy, and forming a law domain is possible. With the help of the domain god stone and the black Xian crystal, the current situation was a natural outcome. Not far away, the space slightly distorted, and a giant demon flew out of the space. 971, 971. Chapter 971. The demon attack, how can we stand by and do nothing? As the enormous demon emerged, Luo Chenkuin raised his hand, with the laws gathering at his fingertips, seemingly ready to strike. However, he then lowered his hand, a smile in his eyes.
Let's see how the young ones fare in battle.
This demon that crossed through space could have been easily destroyed by him. but he was more interested in seeing the current strength of the younger generation of the human race. After all, with him around, nothing major would happen. Even if a few died, it would only mean they weren't strong enough. War is cruel and death is inevitable. Having lived for millions of years and experienced countless battles, Luo Chenkuan didn't care about a few deaths. The enormous spherical demon appeared, drawing everyone's attention. Detection spells were cast, landing on the demon. Giant cavern demon. Level, true god. Characteristics. Naturally possesses space jumping abilities. Contains an independent space within. Weak in attack, but extremely strong in defense. Lin Moyu saw the information and murmured,
Isn't this just a transport ship?
This attack power was weak, but he didn't know how weak. However, since its main purpose was to transport troops, there must be other demons inside it. But a second had already passed since it appeared, and no demons had emerged. A second is not short for cultivators. Many things can be done in that time. How could there be no movement at all? Suddenly, Lin Moyu saw several phantom-like black shadows flash by. To be precise, he didn't see them. Instead, they entered his law domain, causing slight spatial disturbances that he sensed.
Be careful. The demons are here.
Lin Moyu's voice echoed through the starry sky, his sole voice spreading out. The demons are here. Everyone heard Lin Moyu's voice, but they saw no demons. The starry sky was empty. Where were the demons? In the War God Hall, Luo Chenkuan had a mischievous smile in his eyes.
The young ones are in for a tough time. Dark demons are not easy to deal with.
In his law domain, Lin Moyu had absolute control. The dark demons caused slight spatial disturbances, which he clearly detected. Although invisible, the dark demons were real. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and laws surged towards the dark demons. The laws transformed into dragons, biting down, containing the power of the undying law and the law of slaughter. The two laws complemented each other, significantly increasing their power. The dark demons didn't expect to be discovered, and Lin Moyu's attack was swift and fierce. Under the law attack, the dark demons could no longer hide and finally revealed themselves. These were demons less than a meter tall, slender, and covered in round scales. Their scales could absorb surrounding light and simulate corresponding colors, making them extremely hard to detect. But in the law domain, they had no place to hide. The laws, like dragons, swallowed the dark demons attacking Lin Moyu. Screams echoed through the starry sky as the dark demons, under the undying law, rotted away, dying miserably. As the dark demon was swallowed, Lin Moyu cast a detection spell. Dark demon, demon race. Level, super god. Characteristics, hides itself, strong burst power, poses a deadly threat to same-level cultivators. The dark demon Lin Moyu killed was at the 6th stage of the super god level, the same as him. But in terms of combat power, it was far inferior. Lin Moyu's eyes flashed, and his sole voice rang out.
It's a dark demon. Be careful, everyone.
After speaking, he didn't take further action. His orders were to guard this place, and others had to handle their own battles. At this moment, he was a soldier and had to follow orders. Moreover, with the War God Hall and Luo Chenkuan present, he wouldn't interfere. Hearing Renchang's loud shout, Lin Moyu saw Renchang's body burst with intense light, illuminating the sky. In the interplay of light and dark, Renchang saw a shadow.
Got you!
Renchang threw his large knife, which shone with brilliant starlight, at the dark demon. The dark demon was forced to reveal itself, waving its 7 arms to block the knife. The laws roared and the dark demon was sent flying. Renchang pointed, and the knife turned and chased after the dark demon again. Renchang controlled the knife, pressing the attack, forcing the dark demon to retreat. Although the dark demon was strong in assassination and burst power, it had no advantage in direct combat. Renchang's knife caught Lin Moyu's attention. The knife seemed extraordinary, displaying power beyond Renchang's level. Lin Moyu thought of his own weapon, the Monarch's Scepter, which had been unused since he reached the half-step super god level. He couldn't think of a use for it, and he wouldn't wield it in melee combat. A good sword or knife would be better. As for its 500,000 attributes, they were no longer significant for a super god focused on soul laws. The monarch scepter was still incomplete and might be useful in the future, but for now it was the same whether he used it or not. Lin Moyu's earlier quick kills hadn't drawn much attention, but Renchang's battle with the dark demon was noticed. Many cultivators followed suit, forcing the dark demons to reveal themselves. Once visible, the dark demons were no longer frightening. The human race's emotions were fully aroused.
How dare these demons run wild in our territory? Come here, demon scum, taste my axe. Come on, let me teach you how to be a proper demon.
Human cultivators shouted, their laws roaring in the starry sky. Various laws exploded, making the starry sky colorful and dazzling. Lin Moyu didn't act again, sensing something was wrong. Were these dark demons here to die? They were too easy to deal with. The demon race couldn't be this foolish. He noticed the giant cavern demon still present. After releasing the dark demons, it hadn't left. This also seemed unusual. Lin Moyu felt something was off but couldn't pinpoint it. Reflecting on his previous thoughts and judgments, he pointed to the void. A 100,000-meter-long eye of the undead slowly opened in the starry sky, and Lin Moyu connected to it. Through the eye of the undead, he observed the battlefield. Whether visible or hidden, no dark demon could escape the eye of the undead. The eye of the undead saw souls, and as long as there was a soul, it couldn't hide. Lin Moyu saw several dark demons sneaking into the star system. He didn't know how they bypassed the star system's defenses, but they were inside. Their speed wasn't fast, but they would soon reach the nearest life star, 98-3. 98-3 was inhabited by ordinary people. If the dark demons reached it, they could turn it into a hell in no time. Lin Moyu glanced at the War God Hall, which remained unresponsive. The Human Emperor Network also issued no new orders.
Returning to the star system would violate orders. But if I don't return and the War God Hall doesn't act, 98-3 could face disaster.
Lin Moyu made a quick decision. He couldn't stand by and do nothing. Unfolding the wings of the undead, he turned into a stream of light, flying towards 98-3. 972, 972. Chapter 972. He must become a member of the War God Hall. Lin Moyu left his guard position, but he did not leave completely. Hundreds of skeleton generals replaced him, guarding the area. With the help of the Eye of the Undead, the dark demons had nowhere to hide. Lin Moyu connected with the Eye of the Undead, and the speed of the wings of the undead increased to the extreme, quickly catching up. Behind him, a small crack appeared in space. In the War God Hall, Luo Chenquin chuckled.
The little guy discovered it. Not bad, not bad.
At his level, he could see everything clearly. Those dark demons that sneaked in couldn't escape his notice. However, he didn't directly intervene. He just wanted to see if any of the super god-level youngsters could discover them. In the end, it was Lin Moyu who discovered them, which made him feel gratified. But in the next second, Luo Chenquin suddenly jumped up, his voice trembling slightly.
Space law.
He saw the crack left behind by Lin Moyu and immediately recognized the space law. The space law, like the undying law previously displayed by Lin Moyu, belonged to the first-tier laws. When he saw the undying law, he wasn't as excited. But now, seeing the space law, he was extremely excited. Luo Chenquin's eyes sparkled with excitement, and he kept muttering,
Space law, space law.
The space law seemed to have a special significance for him. He quickly calmed down, looking at Lin Moyu, and murmured,
Let's see more, let's see more.
A total of 6 dark demons had infiltrated the star system, advancing in a triangular formation. The leading dark demon was the smallest in size but the strongest, reaching the 9th stage of the super god level. The other 5 dark demons included 2 at the 8th stage of the super god level and 3 at the 7th stage of the super god level. They were well organized and moved in unison, clearly a well-trained squad. The demon race was not a disorganized group. They also had armies with strict discipline. Only with such discipline could they maintain strong combat power and survive in the cruel great world. Lin Moyu pushed his speed to the limit, quickly surpassing them, then made a sharp turn to block their path. His law domain instantly expanded, and a strange gray and white star rose behind him. The law of slaughter, filled with killing intent, fused with the undying law, transforming into countless divine dragons that spiraled within the law domain. At this moment, they were very close to star 98-3. Lin Moyu didn't waste any words and didn't delay any time, directly taking action. The divine dragons of the law pounced on the dark demons. The 6 dark demons' expressions changed simultaneously. The leading dark demon at the 9th stage of the super god level didn't expect Lin Moyu to act so decisively.
Law domain!
It roared and its aura surged. A massive black hole appeared behind it, seemingly capable of devouring everything.
A mere 6th-stage super god, thinking you can stop me with a law domain? My law domain can devour everything. You're dead. You must be a human genius. Killing you will make this mission a success.
It laughed sinisterly, filled with killing intent. Lin Moyu coldly replied,
If you try to devour my laws, you'll burst.
The dark demon's law domain surged, devouring all of Lin Moyu's divine dragons of the law. Lin Moyu pointed his finger, and more divine dragons flew out from the strange star. The dark demon's law domain seemed insatiable, devouring everything.
Come on, I'll devour all your law power.
The dark demon laughed, and the black hole devoured even more fiercely. Meanwhile, the other 5 dark demons charged at Lin Moyu, their 7 heads gleaming with a cold light. Lin Moyu lightly shouted, pointing his finger forward. Fusion spell. Time curse. A red light flashed, and the 5 dark demons screamed simultaneously. In the next second, they fell silent. With the cultivation of a 6th-stage super god, Lin Moyu instantly killed 5 dark demons at the 7th and 8th stages of the super god level. This scene shocked the dark demon leader. His body trembled, realizing it had made a mistake. This human genius in front of it was different. Its law domain suddenly roared, and the black hole became extremely unstable, trembling violently. The black hole seemed to be overfilled, unable to devour any more of Lin Moyu's divine dragons of the law. Its law domain had reached its limit, but Lin Moyu continued to force his laws into it. Fear appeared in its eyes. If this continued, its law domain would collapse and explode. But it was now in a dilemma. If it retracted its law domain, all the devoured power would explode instantly, which it couldn't withstand. Lin Moyu saw this and sneered.
I told you, you can't devour it.
The dark demon took out a magic stone and crushed it.
Next time, I won't let you go.
Lin Moyu pointed his finger.
There won't be a next time.
The time curse descended, causing severe damage to its soul. At the same time, it affected its law domain, accelerating the devouring process beyond its limit. Amidst its screams, its soul collapsed, its law domain shattered, and it died on the spot. But the magic stone had already been activated, forming a space-time tunnel that instantly absorbed its corpse. The other 5 dark demon corpses quickly decayed under the undying law, turning to dust in an instant, leaving no trace. Lin Moyu acted decisively, without any hesitation. In the War God Hall, Luo Chenkuan was already speechless with shock. No matter how impressive Lin Moyu's previous legendary evaluations and display of the undying law were, they couldn't compare to the shock he felt in these 2 short minutes. First, the space law, and now he saw the time law. The undying law, space law, and time law all in one person. Was this even possible? Luo Chenkuan wondered if he was dreaming. Such an absurd thing actually existed. He didn't even dare to report this, fearing people would think he was crazy. Not to mention others wouldn't believe it, even he couldn't believe what he saw. But he trusted his eyes. Lin Moyu's spell indeed contained the time law without a doubt. After some thought, Luo Chenkuan decided to be cautious. After the war, he would check the Human Emperor Network's records before deciding how to report this.
If he truly possesses both the space law and time law, he must join the War God Hall. No matter what it takes, even if it means offending the city lord, I must recruit him.
Luo Chenkuin made a firm decision, his eyes filled with determination. Lin Moyu returned to his guard position, and by then, the battle with the dark demons had ended. Many humans were injured, but none were seriously harmed. For cultivators, as long as they weren't dead and their souls weren't damaged, physical injuries were not a big deal. Regrowing limbs was a common occurrence. The giant cavern demon let out a sharp cry, and the space in front of it began to distort, clearly intending to leave. At this moment, a cold light shot out from the War God Hall, transforming into a sword that instantly pierced the giant cavern demon. The giant cavern demon's massive body turned to dust in the cold light, completely obliterated. Luo Chenkuin snorted.
You think you can come and go as you please in human territory?
973, 973.